Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. Wow, I can't believe I didn't see this, man. Good Lord. What a trip. But that's not the way it's installed in the car. Golly, I can't win for losing, man. I can't get it to turn right. Man. The amount of rust inside this thing is nuts. 30 minutes to an hour out there at nighttime, and the wire started melting. I was kind of pissed after the last little clip. Look what shows up today. Well, like I said, we're gonna do boat stuff. Well, the cable broke somewhere inside this whole thing. Thanks for returning. If you're a returner, if you're new here, please think about subscribing. We are so far behind on so many different projects, it's not even funny. Sammy, you guys have been following along with that thing. Fuel system, got to get it flushed, new filter, stuff like that. The sand rat, we pulled it out. I need to get the tires changed on it. Tires changed on the front to make them more off-road, because these are still the street tires that I had on it back when it was still down low to the street car. I need to get the rear wheels changed so I can get them all painted black. I want to do solid wheels and put my chrome caps back on so it kind of looks like it did back when it was still the street car. Kind of go with the theme of the car here. But anyway, that's something we got to get done. I also need to get a plexiglass windshield cut for it. That way I can actually go out driving it and not have to worry about getting pulled over or anything like that. So those two projects are going. Also, we've got the FJ still. Of course, it hasn't left my life yet. Obviously, transmission is completely torn apart. First gear is off at the company Novak. They are redoing the first gear. Well, it's not the first gear synchro. It's the second gear synchro inside of first gear. They're going to remachine it and make that thing brand new for me. So that way I can get this thing back together and it shifts properly. We can downshift because, as you guys have seen in past videos, we ain't downshifting from second to, or from third to second. It's just not happening. Anyway, so those are the projects we're going to be working on this week. We might even go back to the river this weekend. We're not sure yet. Haven't fully decided, but we got plenty of stuff to work on, plenty of stuff to do. And for right now, we are going to start with doing something simple. We're going to start changing out wheels and tires on the sand rat just to get something done. So let's get after it. Well guys, as much as I wanted to get the tires done on the sand rat, the front ones had tubes in them. And I gotta wait to go pick up some tubes. So we're gonna get back on the FJ, just screwing around with that for right now. It's still up on the lift. One of the things I do have to do is get the fuel out of it and get this fuel tank taken care of. So right quick, I just went up here and did this. And it looks like there was a patch here. Somebody patched a hole. Oh, and I didn't see it before. Right there. So I'm gonna see if I can spray it all off from right there and just wipe it and see if that's where it's seeping from. Oh well, stuff I gotta fix. Wow, I can't believe I didn't see this, man. Good Lord. You can wipe this thing off right here and then you can watch it seep out of there. Nothing can be easy. Alrighty guys, while the FJ is draining fuel right now so I can drop the gas tank, one of the comments I've gotten on the last video was from a buddy of ours, Wade. We met him down in Glamis. And he was telling me that it'd be a good idea to cut open that fuel filter that I was dealing with on the Cadillac, that last video, just to see what the internal workings of it is and see if it's labeled correctly. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So on this filter, on the other ones, this reads out, this one reads return, and then essentially this would be the feed line, but that's not the way it was in the car. So we're just gonna see what this thing looks like on the inside. Just see. Wow, that's actually the way it was supposed to work. Huh. So this filter is definitely designed where this is the inlet and these are the outlets. What a trip. But that's not the way it's installed in the car. It's the other way around in the car. You can definitely see that's the return. Huh. Gonna have to cut that open for a second. Let's cut open this filter and see how bad the inside is. Well, doesn't seem too dirty on either side, so, huh, what a trip. Well, with how that filter was built, it's definitely built to go the way it's recommended. With the threaded side is going to be the pressure side, is the way the filter's designed, but that's not the way it is in the car, I don't think. It's just, I can't imagine why the feed line for the fuel filter would come from the front of the car, and the two other lines, the return and the other line, would be coming from the back of the car. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but whatever, car's driving again. So, back at the FJ, fuel's all done, time to get the tank out. I have no idea how I missed this. It was covered in paint and then some gooey that I just got off, but my good Lord, this is a hole. Holy crap. Like, you can see it's like somebody ground into it. Wow. That's a legit, like that's not small. That's like, I mean, if you make that oval, or I'm sorry, made that oval round, dude, that'd be like a 3/8 hole. And they had some like gunk goo on the outside right here. Like, you still see some of it right here. There. Wow. It was probably that gas tank thick stuff. You just squish it all together and shove it in the hole. Anyway, we got the feed out. We got the rubber cap over here so we can actually fill it. And then I just put a bolt in the vent tube. I'm gonna fill it with water. I'm gonna flush it a couple of times. And then I'll fill the whole thing with water one last time, and then we'll actually weld it with the water level like all the way to here, standing on end. So that way it's already flushed, and if there are any residual fumes, it'd be like this much maybe. Now who knows, I might be able to lean it so it's only like right here. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Can't believe I didn't catch it. Alrighty guys, we got the tank full of water. I'm gonna peel off this piece of tape right here that held all the water in while I filled it, and we'll get to welding, see how much comes out. Should be like a little air pocket there, not much. Ooh. Oh yeah, we're good. So, get to welding. And then on another note, we got the flange brought in off the front end, so now I gotta weld these things up, grind it smooth, both sides, and repunch them. So we'll get that done right now. You can actually kind of see right here, I spray painted through it, and that's about how much, right there, and right there, the hole is off. It's not by much, but like it's just enough. I mean, it was enough for them to put a different size bolt through it. Hey, what's going on here? Like, what a trip. Just doesn't make any sense. And now, almost straight through. Shebanga. Perfect. Alrighty guys, we're bouncing all over today, just trying to get stuff done. So we've got the yoke, the drive flange, yoke, whatever you want to call it, put back on the front end of the FJ. That's all drilled and done. We got the gas tank sitting outside, it's draining. Gonna have to let it sit in the sun for probably another day. I've got wire mesh coming to make like a screen for the pickup. So that way I can throw together a quick screen, put it inside the tank, and I don't have to worry about stuff clogging up the line going to the filter. At least it's filtered in the tank to start with. But ran down and got some tubes real quick. We're gonna throw the front tires on the sand rat, take care of that right now, and see how this all goes. Golly, I can't win for losing, man. I don't know what the heck. It rubs. I can't get it to turn right. Man. This one's got room. It's just this wheel is a different offset, it looks like. I'm gonna have to go dig around, see if I can find another wheel and take this thing all back apart, swap it over again. Can't be easy. Can never be easy. They're on now, they're clear. Looks cool too. Looks pretty cool. We got about a 1/4 inch there, and at least the same over here, about a 1/4 inch or so. So it should be fine. Worst case scenario, if I have to, I'll go get like a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 spacer, put it on both sides. But one step closer. Now I can clean up the wheels, put the hubcaps on, and also get rid of that green paint. These things were laying flat and somebody painted some stuff on top of it, but get that green paint gone. Well, we got the sand rat parked back over into storage for right now, just to open the carport. We got the FJ pulled outside, and we're gonna get to painting the tub today. So, tub and the bottom of the gas tank, so that way when you look at it, it all matches nice and neat. So, let's get after it.
Soundstrap.
Well guys, as you can see, the first coat wasn't too bad. Got it all done. Nice and clean all the way around. A couple little spots I still have to touch up, but that's because I'm not doing the majority of it right now. I just wanted to get, well, let me rephrase that. I'm doing the majority of it right now. I'll do all the cut-ins around the edges a little bit better here in a few minutes. But this has to set up a little bit. Got the tank done. It looks decent. So we will get to putting all this thing back together here pretty soon. You know, for what it is, be perfect. Mint. Alrighty guys, well, FJ's outside drying right now. It's got a couple more hours before I can do the second coat. So we pulled Sammy in and we are draining fuel. Gonna get the tank out of it and get it cleaned up. I just pulled the fuel filler neck off right here, the little rubber hose, and looked inside the tank. Ooh, boy, there's a lot of rust inside. So hope I can get this thing cleaned out enough that there's no rust gonna be plugging up the lines anymore. Kinda sucks. Boy, it might be worth it just to buy a whole new gas tank. The amount of rust inside this thing is nuts. Oh my gosh, man. I'm not sure if I can get light down in here and you guys can see, but my gosh, is this thing rusty. Oh. Just right here, look at that. Oh. This is gonna take forever to clean out. Dang it. Well guys, this thing's so rusty inside, I'm not sure I even want to try and clean it. So hopped on the old marketplace and found another one. That's probably the dude messaging me back right now. Found another tank for 40 bucks. So I'm gonna go take a look at it. Maybe it's cleaner than this one and it's less work to get it. I can buy a brand new tank for like 220 bucks. So it's probably not even worth it to screw with this, especially if my daughter's gonna go out driving this thing. Really don't want her to have to try and deal with the fuel system in this. So if I can just get it all cleaned up, made right, nice, good, clean, you know, I think that'd be best. So I'm gonna run over and take a look at this thing. I might film over there, I might not, depending on if this guy is okay with me filming or not. So we'll see how this all pans out. See you guys soon. Well guys, we were able to pick up another tank. Way better quality, like no rust in it. It's even rhino lined or bed coated or whatever. Lot better, whole lot better. Nice and clean on the inside. I'm not sure if I can get down in there or not, but no rust in it, like nothing like this thing. Like that's ridiculous. But even has the right fittings. This one even has a drain plug. So it's perfect. So we'll get Sammy back together today. We can go off-roading. All right, so the last time Sammy went to King of the Hammers, I'm pretty sure it was either 2018 or 2019. And to hurry up to get ready to go, I wanted to have some rock lights. Well, I didn't have any like the new LED ones or like that, but I had a bunch of these little like fog light deals. Like I snuck one in right here, and then I snuck another one in right there. Had one on each side. So I had snuck one on each side like this. And then I had these guys up front. Like, big old ones. Well, I had all 6 of those wired together, and that was the wrong thing to do. It ended up lasting maybe 30 minutes to an hour out there at nighttime, and the wires started melting. So all the extra energy and effort I did to put those lights in lasted me about a half hour, and they all burned up. So didn't have any rock lights that weekend. But anyway, we're gonna take all that stuff off right now. It's just kind of really crudely run up underneath with zip ties everywhere, so doesn't need to be on there anymore. Alrighty, let's see if she fires up now. It's again, been sitting for a while, so, and now there's nothing in the lines. gas tank works, the fuel gauge. Look at that, idling perfect again. Just the way it was supposed to be. Looks like we're back in business. Woo! Get to drive Sammy around again. All right, guys, I'm gonna go park Sammy back underneath the carport, and we'll take her for a drive here shortly, but I need to pull a Tahoe in now and do a fuel pump on a Tahoe. It looks like I'm just having a problem with fuel systems these past days. Oops. Boy, oh boy, now we got the Tahoe pulled in. It's time to start getting on this fuel filter and, I'm sorry, fuel pump and sending unit and everything. My gosh. I'm about tired of working on fuel systems. This is getting old. Well, Marketplace got a hold of me again. They found me a boat I'm going to go look at. So it's about 45 minutes away up in the mountains. And we'll get on up there and take a look at this thing. Hopefully the guy will let me film up there, but we'll see how this all pans out. But it's a nice, beautiful drive, I'll tell you that. I do love the mountains when they're green. This is a problem at Marketplace. You know, some people, they just like, oh yeah, you know, come and take a look at it. And then you hit them up, get an actual address and stuff, and they're like, well, we got somebody else coming before you. I'm like, dude, I was already on my way. Like, I knew the town you were at, that's why I started driving. But at least I have a good view sitting here waiting for a phone call back. Yeah. Nice little lake views. Hopefully the guy gives me a call back and I get to go look at this boat. It's gonna suck if I don't. It's kind of a waste of drive. Oh well, see what happens. Well guys, I didn't record anymore yesterday. I was kind of pissed after the last little clip. Long story short, guy told me to come look at the boat. Said come on up, and when you're about halfway here or whatever, I'll send you the exact address. That way, like I'm for sure that you're coming. I'm like, all right, cool, dude, no problem. I already knew what town he lived in. I already knew where I was going, so I started driving up there. And then messaged him a couple times and called him a couple times, and no answer, no nothing. So long story short, finally gets a hold of me after about half hour, 45 minutes of waiting in the parking lot. Heck, it was probably an hour. And he says, sorry, I got some bad news. I sold the boat. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you told me to come. He's like, well, the first people that came and looked at it, they had left. And that's when I had told you to come look at the boat. Well, they just came back unannounced, knocked on the door and said they wanted the boat. So he sold them the boat. So I never even got to look at it. You know, I'm not a big person on like being pissed at other people about, you know, I mean, you go do you, it's your thing. But at the same time, like, there's proper etiquette when it comes to stuff like that, especially on Marketplace. Like, if you're telling somebody to come look at something, by all means, at least let them come look at it and give them the option. Didn't get that. Oh well, is what it is. I guess we'll go boating with our normal boat. Maybe we'll take the Ski Centurion out and actually lake test that one. Not sure yet, but didn't get to buy a boat. Oh well. Well, just tooling around the shop, doing little things here and there, and look what shows up today. Looks like we got our first gear back. Let's take a look at it and see what the difference is now. Let's see here. Oh, that, ooh, I even get a sticker. Ooh. All right. Somewhere in here I should be my gaskets too. Oh, I'm gonna have to set you guys up. Yep, they put a brand new one in. Oh yeah, it doesn't spin now. The way it was supposed to be put together. Cool. Nice. Alrighty guys, you know, you still have a transmission to put back together, transfer case and stuff like that. But one of the last things I had to do before I can start getting really deep into this is I had to put the second coat of bed liner inside the tub. And I didn't think you guys wanted to watch me do it again. So it's all done, freshly painted. So it's late Thursday now. And we're talking about leaving tomorrow to go to the river. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. We might be putting a transmission back together. We might be hitting the road and headed to the Colorado River again. And this time it'll be Lake Havasu if we go. So, woohoo! Maybe we'll meet up with Merlin or Brad or one of those guys out there. You know, go hang out with them for an afternoon or whatnot, or meet them up on the water. Even Jet Ski Jimmy, that's a possibility too. But this thing today, we're done with it. No more. I'm not putting a transmission together 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so this is where we're at. See you guys tomorrow. Well, like I said, we're gonna do boat stuff.
Travis editing, put me in the video. Hey, this is Liam, and I'm recording for Travis for his YouTube video. And this is all the boats. It's like our little chill campsite right here. That's the whole group. Hey, Dad. This is my dad. Really? Yeah. Crazy Eddie.
right, guys, that's probably the sketchiest drive I've ever done in my life, man. We drove all the way from the gorge all the way back to Windsor with the steering cable no longer connected. So like, the way I did this is I took a bungee cord and I pulled the nozzle this way. Like, it's still hooked up, but like, so the entire way down here, to make a left-hand turn, I had to like just relax the cable and like let the jet like slowly turn its way back with the bungee cord. And then finally, like when I turned right, the cable like butts against each other inside the sheath, so I was able to push that with no problem. But talk about sketchy. It was one sketchy drive. Dude, that was a sketchy drive. But we're back, we're on the trailer, we're safe. And that's all that matters. Well, guys, we're back from the river, and it was a very interesting time. The drive back, obviously, you guys saw that, and it wasn't too bad once you got the feel for it and realized like how to use it and how to drive it back. But I figured I'd actually kind of explain a little bit better of what exactly happened. I mean, I did a little bit, but it wasn't the greatest explanation. So the way this thing works is it's got a rack and pinion up underneath the steering, and obviously you turn both directions. One way pushes a cable, the other way pulls. So down here on the nozzle, whenever the steering pushes, it actually just pushes this out. And that's what turns the jet to pump water that way, and that's what turns the boat. Well, when it goes this way, it's going in. And what that's doing is that's pulling the entire cable, like up underneath the steering, or I'm sorry, up underneath the dash for the steering. Well, the cable broke somewhere inside this whole thing. So I can push, because the two ends of the cables where it broke, because they would still butt into each other on the, or inside the sheath, it'd still push it the one direction, but I couldn't get it to come back. So to try and get the thing to come back, what I did was I just took that bungee cord and I had hooked it right here and hooked it to my swim step. And what that did was that held all the pressure one way. And I can steer it straight by pushing the two ends of the cables together, like inside the sheath where they broke. I could hold the pressure that way to hold the jet straight. And then to turn right, I could turn more and it would just push like normal. But now to get it to return, you had to rely on that bungee cord to pull the thing back. And a couple of times, because the amount of thrust coming out of the jet and how much water's coming out of it, there was a couple of times where like we're headed toward the shore and the only way to get the nozzle to return was to like pump throttle, like rev it up, let it down, rev it up, let it down. And that would like relax the bowl or relax the nozzle enough that the bungee cord had enough pressure or enough tension to pull the jet back over. But we made it back. It was a very sketchy drive. Like there were a couple times where, I mean, obviously you can see in the video, you could take the steering wheel and just wing it both ways. So like right now, like I can push it all the way out, and now the cable, like there's nothing in it. Like you can, it doesn't do anything. Like it's not even connected anymore. So, you know, but it was a trip. It was a good drive back. We had a good weekend with some good friends. So we're gonna get back to work this week and get the FJ done. We're back up and running on the road. So we are done with jet boat stuff for this week. But man, oh man, oh man. That was a fun drive back.